It is great to see everybody tuning in. What a week we've had. The theme of this week that we're going to get in is talking about your core essence, who you really are at your center, the center of your being, center of your heart. And in this world, when there's so much going on, when there's so much news, when there's so much media, when there's so much analysis, when there's so much looking into the micro of things, of what's causing that and what's happening in your community and when are we coming back and when are the markets here and can I go out and is Trump firing the right person, hiring the wrong person, all these things happening. It's nice just to take some time to zoom out and look at your life from a different perspective, to look at your life from a higher, much higher perspective, and to connect in with that soul creative force that you are always tuned into and you're always meant to tap into. It's a beautiful thing. And at this core, at your very core of your nature, there's a level of invincibility because you're here for a reason. And when you just go over that with yourself and you think about that, you know that you are here for a reason. It stands out, and everyone's reason is different. They're like beautiful, intricate snowflakes that fall from the sky and clump together and can form snowballs or extensions or beautiful dustings or snow-capped mountains as we all come together, but you can pull us apart. And we have these unique imprints and snowflakes. And if you take some time now to think about what your unique imprint or snowflake is, what is that impulse that you feel right now, when you think about a reason for being here? And you can share that and you can pop it into the comment sections. We're going through that as a cue and share. It's good to read. I read those later. But when you think about that and you feel it, it's such a beautiful feeling when you reconnect, because at your heart, you really know what your purpose and your reason is. And of course, we can do other things like a QHHT session, quantum healing hypnosis technique, which Julie and I do around the world. And we're joined by thousands of amazing practitioners doing the same. That can bring you a great deal more clarity and exploration of these different levels of consciousness. But you have it in you at all times to go in and explore and get that reason and bring that reason out and take a look at that reason and realize that your purpose is to be that reason. The purpose of your life is to be that reason of who you really are, of what feels so natural when you're in that zone of expressing who you are, of what feels like it's just going with the flow. When you feel that inclination, it could be expressing itself. That going with the flow can be in your work. It could be in your relations. It could be in the food that you eat. It could be in how you choose to move that body of yours around. That's right, Julia's moving. It's that going with the flow. And if you think about going with the flow, it's a beautiful thing to say, how can I tap further into my flow today? What is my flow? I'm going to commit to my mojo today. And I'm going to get into my flow and I'm going to express that flow all day long. Today's as good a day as ever to step out and go with the flow and get in that flow and what feels right. You feel like walking outside and your flow just takes you somewhere. You don't even think where you're going. Just let the flow take you somewhere. You want to have a conversation with someone that's interesting, you connect with them, call them up, even better. We're getting good with the Zoom now, FaceTime them, and tell someone out there, I want to share my flow with you today. Here's what's on my mind. It's a little bit different, right? I'm daring you to be a little different today with how you treat your life. And when you get in this flow, you're going to realize how indestructible you really are, because no one can bring you down when you're on your groove. When you're in your groove, you can be in your groove and someone could say to you, I'm not getting it. You say, that's okay, because I'm in my groove. Not everybody has to get me. I'm not meant to please everybody. I'm out to be me. That's right. I'm not out to please everybody. I'm out to be me. And you are out to be you. And when I'm being me and you being you, we form a beautiful dance together. And that's the true nature of where we're going with this 5D world. We're advancing into a beautiful symphony of togetherness, of self-expression, of creativity, of showing off who we really are to the world in our own unique way. And that's all I have to say about that for now. Let's have some fun with this today. Go on a rampage of you, who you really are. You deserve it. And for a lot.
All the visuals that were coming up when you were saying those things, that's why I was laughing. I was being thoroughly entertained over here.
After is good.
And you're like,
affirmation of the soul.
Yes. But it was like, I'm seeing all these things of people just wandering aimlessly and then you had all the words you kept using. It was just, and then the flow and the symphony. And it's like, I see people just kind of flowing around and with their wings, just, and just floating around. It's like, this is so cool. This beautiful symphony of people just floating around, just being in their bliss. Doing their thing.
That conversation was dramatically driven by my guides, because that's the thing that they're constantly in as they nurture, as they guide, as they connect. They're always going with the flow. They're never judging. They're always there with you. Your guides always have your back. Wherever you choose to do, it's unconditional. And that was their little flow conversation that was coming through me and channeling that part, and it was being loose. It was about being loose and gathering that.
I think it's also about, how do I say this? Each and every one of us has this ability to channel this higher part of us, to channel our own inner beings, and which is what you were doing so beautifully there. And like you said, it's all just flowing and when you're in that place, it just comes through, it just flows. And so many times, you inside kind of know, okay, something happened here. Others can't really tell. They just like, well, you're talking maybe a little different, but that's about it. But it's like you just shift inside, and that's just allow that other part, that bigger part of yourself to come through. And it does beautifully. And it'll be these gorgeous things, but it's always about love. It's always about, they're saying freedom. It's just free flowing and no restrictions. That the only thing restricted is this part of the whole equation is little me. I have a drawing that I do, and it's on this concept of who we really are. And we have little me, which is this person we think we are, which is the body. It's not who we are. It's who we think we are. And then we have this much grander part of ourselves, who we really are. And that's all this is. When we are actually doing this and allowing this to come through, we're just allowing more of our true selves to come through. And that just, you open up and you just allow. And sometimes it might feel a little odd, so those of you that are kind of like, well, I don't know how to do this. First of all, you let go of the how. Just be you, like Kaya was saying, just be you and just love. When you come out, when you approach everything from the heart, then that opens everything to allow it to come through. It allows more of you to come through. When you're feeling that beautiful bliss state and you are just like loving life, like Kaya said, that's when you're in this higher part. That's when you are, and everything that you do will attract more and more of that, because that's that vibration that you're putting out. So here, that's really the secret to manifesting and creating. It's just putting out that beautiful vibe. Because remember, whatever you put out attracts. Like attracts like. So many times we're like, well, I have to be happy. I have to be, prosperous. I have to put out that vibration. Well, if you're making yourself put it out, it's not truly out. Okay? It comes from within. It comes from the heart, and it's a true feeling. You actually, it's a really real thing. I mean, when you're really in the emotion, when you're really in that vibration, and that's when you will see things happen in your life. You fully get into it. It's not work. Please push the work part out of this. It is not work. It's all feeling. It's all vibration. So as you really get into it and you really feel it, start with love. Start with that heart. And, I think we mentioned several shows ago, and probably on several shows, it's the heart of gratitude. Be grateful. When you go to that grateful place, and it might be tiny, tiny little things that you can find right now that you're grateful for. Because the big one is because we may be blocked off and not seeing what is really there. And so it's like, okay, well, I can see, I had breakfast this morning. Great. I'm grateful I had a wonderful meal. I'm grateful I had breakfast. I'm grateful I have my family. I'm grateful. But you start with something and you will find more things. And as you keep doing that, and that heart is opening more and more, because you will feel it. That grateful heart is big and beautiful. And then that starts bringing more of the same thing. That is how you do it. It's really very simple, but it's not work. It is not work whatsoever. And I hear so many times, it's like, well, got to do this and this and this and this and this. That makes it work. It's not work. It's love and joy. And that was my higher self coming in.
And it makes me think about where we are right now and in a state of highly abundant, right? Talking right now out to highly abundant audience. And the beauty of abundance is very, very connected to the same theme that we were going with earlier. And that is a loosening up. Is abundance comes to you when you allow it to be different things to you and remove the tendency to try and lock it into just one thing, namely money, namely dollars, as my sole source of abundance. Thinking like, oh, it's all about the money in the bank. That's it. Just that. That's my form of abundance. If I don't have that, I'm not abundant. There's plenty of people out there that have a lot of that in the bank, and they do not feel any abundance whatsoever. Abundance first comes from here and comes from that place of gratitude and recognizing that true you, expressing that you. And once you start doing that, the momentum of your train, of your inertia is moving forward, and then the synchronicities start. And then the things start coming to you. And then you realize that abundance is the ability to be able to see things in a different light. Ability to process things with your mind that are happening to you and process them in a way in which they serve you and allow you to feel good about yourself and allow you to come from a high vibrational energetic level. And then you can do what you want to do from that level. And you're the conductor of that beautiful symphony when you're listening and you're allowing and you're loosening up what has to be. This is a big theme coming into this 5D Earth. It's the theme of loosening up, of not holding on to what doesn't serve us, of not holding on to any baggage, forgiveness, forgiving anyone that's ever done anything against you, and forgiving yourself for anything that you are holding against yourself. Loosening up from that, understanding what you want and getting in that place consistently, an abundant place, in an open place, a place where you can let your source energy come to you. And that starts the chain of events of more synchronicities, more visions, more ideas, more opportunities. You see, creativity is also a form of abundance. An ability to see a situation from a slightly different angle or above the trees is a form of abundance because it can take you on an entirely new path of action that you couldn't see. So it's interesting to think about that. So welcome in your creativity and your abundance in that respect, and then trust. Trusting is another form of abundance. It's to trust the inclinations that you get. And that may sound, trusting the inclinations that you get. It may seem so simple, but we make it so hard, don't we? How many times do we get this impulse of, oh, geez, maybe I should do this? But then we're like, oh, yeah.
Can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. No, why would you do that? No, that's silly.
Yeah,
that is silly.
Can't do it. Don't have enough of this. Don't have enough of that. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm too this. I'm too that. And then you just forget about that. And then another one comes. And you think about that for a second.
And you get excited about it too when it happens. Yeah. And that's one of your clues.
The clues are coming.
Yeah.
However, if we're given these clues by our higher self, given a clue, given a clue, given a clue, higher self's kind of looking down. It's like, all right, I'm dropping them. I'm dropping them. I'm dropping them. Maybe I'm not going to drop them so fast anymore because you're not following through on them. It's a give and take. Mm-hmm. It's a waste of psychic energy to get these downloads and then just do nothing about them. It's a waste. You have to be taking actions. That's the language of the earth. That's the language of being in the body. This is a physical world that we're in. This is a world of density. It's a world of inertia. And that is the world that we're in. So it's about taking these ideas that come to you and bringing them into the physical. Baby steps are just speaking or writing them down. That's an intro to it, of getting those thoughts and the energy in from the higher self out. It's a start. You can put these ideas out. You can speak about it to someone. An even bigger start is actually do an activity that initiates what you're feeling. It's an even bigger step if you go forward, if you do something and you'll be able to hold yourself accountable. Something that we have, right? Saying, I'm going to do that. Mark my words, I will do that. And you can tell a friend, anyone, I'm going to do this. And just by the act of doing that, it helps get the inertia moving forward. But then here's the catch. Once you said you're going to do it, you set your intention, then you drop the judgment, and you allow your heart to move you forward. You just allow your heart to move you forward. You allow your passion, you allow your joy, you allow excitement, you allow your energy for it to move you forward without the judgment and without thinking too much about where it's actually going. You know where you're going, but that destination needs to be somewhat general. You can't lock onto that destination if you're going in through your entire path of abundance in this journey. So letting go of that insistence as you're going in through it and in your flow and taking your physical actions is something that will serve you very, very well, because that is the nature of this earth dimension that we're in, and that is the way that things flow. So flow with that. Go with your intuition and your insight. Take action on it. Allow the heart to drive you forward. And as you're going to it, don't judge yourself along the way. Just keep going and allow that heart energy to move you forward.
That is huge. And I like that last part that you said, because you were repeating it, and that's really good. But it's about going with the flow and not judging where it's going or what's happening, because we don't know all the pieces and parts that have to take place to get us to whatever end that we're looking at, whatever destination. And so that's where it's trusting the powers that be, to put things in place for us. And if we're sitting there judging, this is wrong, so wrong, so wrong, I need to abandon, this is a crazy idea because it's not working. That's it. See, that's conscious mind doing its thing over here. That we call it the chatterbox, the little monkey on the shoulder. It's always got its 2 cents, all right? And that's fine. That's its job. But when we're doing this, we want to, that's fine. Okay, thank you for your input. Now, what else can I see here? It's like I'm looking at this. And so let's just see what else is out there. So that's where it's just know where you're going, and then everything falls into place. And when you see that, when you're going from your heart, and it's all that energy, like we were saying, and you're going with the impulses that you have been given. Do this, do this. I mean, this is where you're going. This is what you're doing. Now, like you say, allow it and allow these things to happen, and just recognize each of these things. Okay, this must be another piece. Just recognize it as that. You don't have to pick it apart. This must be another piece on to my destination. And that's the trust. That is the trust that, this is a union you've got going here. This isn't a God. This isn't a God up there that you have to beg and bargain with and make deals with. It's like, okay, so if I do this, will you do this? And if I'm a good girl, will you do this for me? And let's see, if I give up my firstborn or something. I mean, it's nothing like that. This is you. This is you that you're working with. It's just a much bigger part of you. This is what you call the higher self. This is a huge part of you that came into this body to have an experience. So this bigger part of you knows you better than anybody. Nobody else can know you. I mean, it knows everything about you, and it knows why you are here. And this is where these impulses are coming from. So if the impulses are coming from this part, then do you think maybe the guidance for the destination might be accurate? Because it's all coming from the same place. This part can see your whole life path from a whole different perspective, a much grander perspective, and knows exactly what needs to happen, when and where to get you to X, Y, or Z. Okay, so when you are saying, okay, I feel an impulse or whatever, where it starts, who knows? We think it starts with us, but it could have started with our bigger part. And it's like, okay, now it's time to start moving in this direction. So we get these impulses to go. And then it's like, okay, well, this is what I'd like to do. How can we see, we're thinking we're doing it all, but we're not. This is all coming in right now. This is really cool. This whole perspective. It's like, it's moving back and forth. Oh, and I feel some things out there. It's like, okay, but what happened to free will, and what happened to, I feel like a little puppet, it's like I'm just marching along. Remember, this is big me. This is the greater part of ourselves coming into this body to have an experience. So this is just making sure this is happening. This is all in agreement. This is all working together. So we are the physical manifestation of the greater part of us having this journey.
Yes.
Isn't that cool? We are doing actually what the greater part of us came in to do. That's all it is. So that's where it's like, we want to make it like, well, hey, wait a minute. What about me? What about me? This is you. This is you, and you are the expression of the greater you. So it's fine. This is wonderful. You could always, if you want to be really, really stubborn, and I've had times like that when I just, wanted to assert my stubbornness and my whatever.
Don't be stubborn.
But if you just really want to be, it's like, you know what? I put my foot down and I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I choose not to do it. That's your right. That's free will. Okay? Now, that's fine that you can do it. You may be hitting yourself in a lot of walls then, because you're not doing what you, the bigger part of you, the real you, all of you decided to do when you came in, and you're not following your guidance. It doesn't mean you can't continue. It doesn't mean you can't live. It just means you might have some obstacles. It just means you might be hitting your head against a lot of walls, a lot of brick walls. Just saying. That's one of the ways when you're on path, when you're on the track, when you're on, you're following your guidance, is things flow. They flow smoothly, and doors open for you. That's part of that trust. You'll start seeing these things. It's like, oh my gosh. Because once you commit, and that's what Kai was talking about. Once you make that decision, you're committing. Now you said, okay, I'm doing this. That's a commitment. That's a commitment to yourself. I am doing this. When you do that, the doors start opening, and you'll see things fall into place very, very quickly that seem almost impossible. They fall in place so quickly, but that's because it is right. It's exactly right, and that's where your guidance team can come in and do that. I mean, it was always the right path. You just got to go it. But was it Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks? You know, they have this thing. A lot of times they'll comment on it. It's like you can flow upstream. You know, you don't flow upstream. You have to paddle really hard to go upstream. But if you'll just turn that little boat around, it just flows, and it's going in the direction of your dreams. It's going in the direction of your goals. It's going in the direction of your desires. This is the direction of your guidance team saying, okay, this is where your experience is. You know, this is where you want to be. Now, free will, you can make anything your experience. You can have whatever experience you want. So if you want to paddle that little boat, you know, and and hit the what do you hit the waterfall? Try to go up a waterfall. So if you can get those visuals in your head, that's what you're doing when you're not going in the flow. And that's why things can seem so hard, is because you're not in the flow. You're not moving in the direction that your guidance team is trying to guide you on. That's it. You had something to say there, Kyle.
I had something that is just this really, I knew it was coming into this conversation this week. I was getting the impulses from this, and I was just laughing that I knew it was coming. And it was a book, and it was going to tie into this, and I felt it. I'm like, this book is going to tie into your theme this week in your Facebook Live. And I was like, uh-oh. Really? And all right, and pardon my language. I haven't read it, but it popped into my head. I have no idea. It just popped in.
That's how it works.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Now I get attention.
It does.
It definitely, just by that title alone, it put me in that place of just loosening up, loosening up expectations, and loosening up where you are, and really like thinking. It's almost as if I need constant encouragement and reminders that the present is what really matters. You know, the past brings on, there's just something too came in. The past brings on depression. The future brings on anxiety. The present brings on love and a gift and gratitude of everything that is. The most beautiful places in the present. And when you start dropping and not giving a F about how you're judged, how you should be, what society norms are, how you should be functioning, why you're different. That's a good one, why you're different. Because it's easy to feel quite different when you're hearing things in our world, and we have our own ideas of how things work from a way that just makes so much sense, like a methodology and a framework that we talk about constantly throughout our conversations and with our beautiful group together, and how we connect and how things really work, and how we can connect more into who we really are and how it lifts up everyone. And it's like that idea and the foundation and the structure, they keep strengthening every week. Like every week when we talk, it strengthens that belief, and that we're connected, and we have a new alignment, and we have a new connection to the earth and to everybody that's welcoming us and joining us in that experience of that 5D world that we're getting closer and closer to full realization in right now. And then all the other parallel realities that are existing, and that has a lot to do with the free will too. And to dovetail on that question is, do we have free will? Yes, we have more than free will. We have absolute freest of the freest of the free of the free of the free of the free will in the entire universe, in the multiverse. The Earth experience is completely, uninhibitedly expressive of free will. It's so free that we can cut ourselves off to the very nature of the thing that gives us the most love, the most support, the most desire, all the answers, everything. We cut ourselves off from that, and we're like, let's be daredevils. Cut us off from that and see if we can reconnect to that. And along the way, we're probably going to build up some systems that don't make any sense at all, that are probably going to serve to be roadblocks in how we evolve. And it's really interesting with QHHT. With QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique, we get a really good look into history. It's fascinating. I mean, it is jaw dropping because we've had the pleasure of being able to experience and see and learn from thousands of hypnotic regressions of individuals going back and talking and describing situations of a past life as if they are right there in it. They are right there in it. It's just as if you and I are talking now, and they're describing everything that's happening in these different past lives. And we've got a chronology of how humankind has really worked based upon the experiences of all these past lives and how they've progressed. And it's not what they're teaching in school. I'll tell you that much. The kids aren't reading about this.
They might enjoy history if they were.
You know what? They would. I guarantee they would. You don't hear about Lemuria, you don't hear about Atlantis, but boy, oh boy, we hear a lot of those sessions of the blind arrogance to think that humankind as it is now, we're the only inhabitants of the earth ever, and pure luck of reproduction and natural selection got us to where we are now. Yeah, right. We have these intricate details of civilizations and how they functioned, how they interacted, where they got their energy. And there were civilizations that were previous to where we are now that were on the earth and were actually more evolved, believe it or not, more evolved than we are now. From a spiritual, intellectual, moralistic mindset, they were actually more evolved. Isn't that shocking? But the good news is that we're discovering more of these artifacts. We're discovering more of these pieces that tie in ancient civilizations. And that knowledge is no longer held back from us. It used to be like this big secretive thing you could never get. They'd rather burn it than have people have access to it, because the new leadership and time over time they've came and they've tried to destroy these artifacts when a new ruler would come in, and the new ruler would want to say, well, this my kingdom evolved in the way that I wanted it. We're going to remove the history in it. And it's sad when that happens, but that has been the history of the earth. And we've seen this in Egypt. Mm-hmm. And they've described like the defacing of the monuments.
Yeah, I remember that was very upsetting to you. Very
upsetting. I had a really hard time dealing with that because while I was in Egypt, I was in such a magical period of discovery, and I was so fascinated with it. And that culture, we should be able to feel our ancestors and learn from our ancestors without biases, without censors, without people coming steamrolling things. And that extends out into the world that we are now. How are we leaving our legacy? How can we leave our legacy in an unbiased, uncontrolled, pure way that just comes from us? I'm the optimist, and I'm the believer that now we have various forms of technologies that can do really amazing things. We have abilities to create things that are amazing, but we need to be more creators, and we need to think about creating things that are lasting, and things that are not lasting for the minute, not for the hour, not for the day, but for the years, the decades, and the millennium. We've got it in us. And I've thought a lot about that, about making an impact so that this is never erased. So that as we evolve, what we're going through now, what we're believing, what we're thinking, what we're feeling should be put in place and protected for generations. And you can go in, part of that motivation comes from going back and watching some of these. There's a lot of programming now on YouTube where you can go back and ancient civilization, ancient mysteries of the earth. And I can just sit on this stuff before bed, and I'll turn on Ancient Mysteries of the Earth, and they'll show these amazing stone, massive artifacts in different places of the world that are perfectly set in alignment with the stars to the 100th of a degree. And we've seen this in Machu Picchu. We've seen this in Egypt. We've seen this at Stonehenge. Just in the last year, we've seen all these places and meditated in these places and felt these places. And I feel that some of that energy was left in those stones, and those stones resonated with us when we were in that environment, and we did our meditations, and it lives within us and it gets expressed. And it's a pretty powerful thing how they were able to do that with those monuments. And it's just fascinating. And I encourage anybody to go deeper and really make it a hobby of getting to the bottom of what existed before us, what's happened on the earth, What are connections to it? What are anomalies? You're going to feel good about yourself in some way when you connect to that. I do notice the way that I feel. I could have a long day working, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, how can I zone out? How can I get the top view? So I put myself in that energetic sleep state where I'm going to be open to get the information that I need. And those mysteries will do it every single time for me. It just opens things up. It's a de-stressor. You know, the stress, the little minutia that you're worried about, this or that, or this, or this, this, it goes away when you start thinking about humankind. And when you apply curiosity to humankind is when it's fascinating. When you stimulate your sense of curiosity and you spring it in different directions, that's doing something for you. And I can't put my finger on exactly what it does, but I know it does something really good for you. I know it's something.
I would imagine that it's opening, but curiosity is always fantastic. You want to be curious. It's when you know everything, that's when you've shut down that curiosity. I think that just feels right. So you want to be curious because that keeps opening your world, and that keeps opening you up to more and more new things. So that, I would imagine, that is a very vital thing there. And I love, like, because you've said before that a really good thing to do before you go to bed is to think about the macro, get bigger, bigger, bigger. And so this is really cool that it's doing that. It's definitely getting you out of your day-to-day stuff to go into ancient mysteries. It's doing something that opens up your mind and goes in a different direction. So that's very, very cool.
Yeah, I found that doorway into the sleep, the world of sleep, is my sensitivity to what I'm doing the hour before, to the hour and a half before I go into the sleep state. It's almost like the universe has a copy machine. And that part particular, it's going to copy it and copy that into the dream world and that world. And so I'm thinking, how can I not have a copier? How can I create a primer? How can I create a machine where I'm going to be able to lucid dream? And then I'm going to have explorations of these places that I want to really explore. I want to do the astral travel. I want to kind of jump off. I want to check out parallel versions of the earth. I want to explore more I want to visit those past lives. I'm looking every night when I go to sleep, it's vacation time. And I'm taking that vacation time very seriously in how I'm optimizing it and how I'm setting up my room, how I'm setting up the light, what I'm thinking about before bed, because there's so much magic happening in that state that's priming us for this next leg of the journey, and it's charging me up. It's charging me up with this energy and this connection, and it's opening that connection to my guides and the higher civilizations that flow through. And it's just a beautiful thing how I think that doorway is opening for us all. Mm-hmm. And there's different ways of priming ourselves, not just being copy, not just letting the copy maker hit whatever's there. Boom, boom, Netflix. Boom, boom. You know, some drama on Netflix, copy maker. Well, if you want a really dramatic dream where you're getting chased by people and people are trying to arrest you, the best thing you could probably watch would be a suspense movie where someone's getting chased and someone's out to arrest them. And do you really want that? Do you really want to re-experiencing that? Or would you really be wanting to go and explore these places that you're not exploring and feeling more of who you really are? Seems so obvious. Mm-hmm. So obvious. And so clear now.
We can take that one step further. I got 2 points here. Okay, one step further on that is when that's what you're watching before you go into your dream state, yes, you will have that coming into your dream state. But also, if that's what you find, the kinds of things that you're watching, you will also pull that into your waking state. That is because like attracts like. And if those are the kinds of shows that you're constantly watching, you might say, oh, I really like those kinds of shows. And if you're getting emotionally pulled in, then you just test it. I'm just saying, just test it, because I did with myself. And I started, there'd be some shows that are just, they're so good and they pull you in and they suck you in, but they're so dramatic and so much going on. And I started seeing my outer world reflecting that. It was doing the very same things. And it was like, and I thought, oh, that's weird. I wonder if that has anything to do with that. And then so I stopped watching and everything cleared up. It's like, huh. Then I started doing it again. Oh my goodness. I'll start coming back in again. And so it goes in both places. So it will affect your dream world and it affects your waking world, or this waking world. The other thing was, you said, I would like to go off to these places and do all these things and everything. Well, you are doing them. We all are. The soul does not stay in the body when we're sleeping. It's off having all these wonderful adventures. I think what you're really saying, Kaya, is you want to be conscious about it. You want to be aware of what's happening with the soul at night. And that's where dreams come in, is we were getting pieces of what's happening there. Lucid dreaming is when we're very conscious of it. And I think that's what I hear you saying is, yeah, I'm doing it. And maybe it probably does have an influence on it, but that's, what we're watching is affecting the dreams that we are having with the conscious mind is recalling. And what it's part of, but the soul is off doing its thing all the time. So here again, there's that connection happening. I want my conscious mind and my soul, my higher self, to be more united and seeing everything that's going on. So, and we're at that point. We can definitely do that. Conscious mind can handle it. It can do it and be off on these adventures with our souls, with ourselves, with seeing all these different things. It's just the body that needs rest. And so we'll let the body rest, do its thing, and our other parts can be off having fun.
Yes. And that is exactly it. It's bringing in the full awareness of the feeling that I have right now as I speak and I feel Kaya, and being able to feel my Kaya-ness in other higher forms of consciousness, and still feel very autonomous, but also part of something else that's fascinating and interesting and experiential, and to mesh the two and to be able to flip in and out of different parallel realities and different experiences. And it's not just that it happens in the dream world and the sleep world. In the dream world and the sleep world, it seems to me like the spotlight gets more shined on it, to where the experience in the dream world, it's like the spotlight and it feels like it's a little more intense. Whereas when I'm in my waking state, I feel like I'm seeing my entire world of the Kaya consciousness. And then also it's flashes that come into that of the other worlds. These just like glimpses and flashes, very thin veiled glimpses and flashes that I can perceive a little bit from, that I'm malleable and I could sense some of that and I can sense some of this. And if I want to get deeper into it, if we want to get deeper into these things, then a meditative state and just breathing alignment can allow us to explore those states. And it's becoming easier and easier to explore other forms of you that are exciting, interesting, and they're very easy to tap into. You just think, if I'm thinking of a different life and exploring something, what is the most exciting one of all that I could tap into now? And I want to explore it and not filter anything. I want to just, whatever's coming to mind. And that's a huge part. With the QHHT experience, you go very deep into it. You have a guide, you have a professional that's been highly trained that brings you into this state. So you're in the perfect brainwave state, and then the guide takes you through everything. So that's a grand slam way of connecting into your past lives. And a part of that that's really amazing is once you do experience that level of depth into it, it's much easier to go back and visit that, because you've already felt it, you've already experienced it, and the door is completely open. So you can step into your other lives and experience these other lives the way that they are. I was in Atlantis this morning. It was like waking to an in Atlantis. There were like crystal lights, that crystals were almost like street lights. And I was walking, and it was very, very beautiful. And I was walking through these kind of like almost like silver-ish canals, and it was like a very beautiful light place. And it was at the peak of the civilization. And there was a lot of crystal energy that was guiding me through. And I was going into one of the Mexican pyramids, and I was going to conduct a ceremony there. I spent some time in that life, and it was just, the reason I was able to spend the time in the life is because I was just flowing. I was not, conscious mind was not thinking, oh, that's a street light. Street lights are not that color. There's no crystals on street lights. That's kind of weird. That's not reflecting me, You learn to deaden that and that voice that's there, it gets in the way of a lot of stuff in your conscious mind and your super conscious mind. It gets in the way. Like, we're at a place now. I understand back a while back when we were living in a more primitive way, and you needed that to tell you, like, saber-toothed tiger around the corner, careful, wild animal can eat you, fight or flight, But we're not there anymore. And we're shifting our entire genetic makeup and our profile. So don't listen to that judgmental voice. Listen to your source. Listen to your inclinations. That is what I have to say about that.
I love it. I love it. There was, gosh, you covered so much. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to ask how many others are having glimpses or having experiences. First of all, do you believe in other lives, parallel lives, other things that can be happening? And are you having experiences that are making you wonder about that? Are you anything? Because probably things that you might not even suspect are these things, but you have questions about them. So I'd love to hear, and see what you have, your experiences, because this is an example. I mean, Kai has gotten where he can just go right in because this is what he's been working on, and he goes in beautifully when he's in hypnosis, and now he's channeling. I mean, he's easier and easier and easier for him to get into this state, and so he does it very naturally in the meditative state, and so he's just exercising that muscle. We all have that ability. We can all do that. And it's just a matter of just working with yourself and get quiet and having intentions, things like that. The biggest thing is allowing. So I would love to hear about some experiences that are going on out there and what you're having. Waking state, sleep state. I mean, lucid dreamers. Lucid dreaming is really cool. Mm-hmm. and like you were saying, astral projection. I mean, that was a big deal. Gosh, that was one of the first things I was working on whenever I was still in high school. And I remember seeing a book about that. It was in the 70s. And that would just seem so fascinating. It was like, man, how, because this is 70s, okay? 70s, there wasn't, this was like really new. And I remember thinking, you mean you can actually go? I can be here and I can actually go someplace and and so I would do these exercises at night and I'd feel something happening, and it was like, they would do a step by step, like you're going through the ceiling, you're going through the roof, and now you're going out and everything. And I remember I could sense the roof, and then I think once it kept going through there, I think I got scared or something. And then it would just pull back in. Next thing I remember, I'm going to sleep. I mean, I'm waking up the next morning. So I probably kept going, but conscious mind was like, check out. But I wanted to be aware of it, and so I would work on that. But that was some of my beginning steps, So we all have different ways that we've been approaching this and experimenting with it. So very, very, very cool. We all have our journeys. And that's what I want to hear.
We do, and it's about, we're just I'm getting a really funny message right now to tell a story. Yeah. I'm telling you a story. All right, fine. So I'm in New Zealand, and the friend I was with is like, "Hey, have you ever gone skydiving?" And I'm like, no. And he's like, "Well, this is the place to go because you come here in New Zealand. They're like, hey, mate, you done a bungee yet?" I was like, "No, I've not." "Oh, you done any skydiving, mate?" And it's like, "No, I haven't done it." "Well, you need to. This is what we do here." And my accent was off. But I'm like, okay, I guess. He's like, "The best thing is this is the highest drop zone you can get in. We take you up to the highest place." So I'm like, all right, the highest drop zone. I guess that's the highest altitude that they're going to drop me from. He's like, yeah, free fall for like 2 minutes, mate. It's great. So I'm signing my life away on this sheet, not thinking that. I'm like, all right, I'm meant to live. All right, let's move forward with this live. So we go up, and you're in the plane. You're going up. You go about 1,000 feet, and you look down, and you're starting to think like, all right, this is probably it, right? And then you look up and they're like, no, we still got 17,000 feet to go. And you're like, oh, and I'm like, well, wait, what does it matter? Anyway, and then I'm thinking state. Okay, this is important. I'm a little nervous and the adrenaline's starting to go. And I'm talking to the guy, hey, mate, do you have music? He's like, yeah. I said, put on some music, put on Jump Around. So we put on Jump Around and we're going, jump up, and jump down. So we're all jamming and we're good to go. And I definitely flipped the anxiety into a jamming and we're all jumping around. Then it's time. Now's the time. And they open the door, whatever. And one of my friends I see him and I see my friend. The next thing I know, my friend turns into a little dot and he goes, and it's like, oh boy. I'm getting ready. He kind of kneel over and moving over on my butt. He goes, wait, mate, did you pack Kaya's chute? No, mate, I didn't pack his chute. Did you pack his chute? I didn't pack his chute. And then they go, oh no, we'll figure it out.
Not funny.
Now, here we go. The second decision. I'm falling. And he, instead of playing, he took me on the nosedive where my nose is down. So I'm inverted upside down and I'm going so fast and my heart is going so fast. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what do I do here? Really, 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 really intense. And I'm like, dude, I can just close my eyes, but if I close my eyes, what's the purpose? I was like, no, you can't close your eyes. You actually got to feel this. So I was just breathing and feeling it. And then I recalibrated myself and got my heart kind of under control to where I'm calibrating and breathing. And then just as I was feeling good, we kind of arched and then we're going and clapping 5 and it became really a fun experience. The thing that I'm taking for the whole thing is the analogy is a lot about life. You can go through life with your eyes closed through situations. You can always close your eyes and shut yourself off. That's something that all humans have been given. We have the ability to just shut ourselves off. That's the essence of the earth experience. You can shut yourself off from everything. And you can crawl, run, jump through it, and come to a place of greater awareness. But that's not what it's about. It's about to have your eyes open and to be conscious as you're going through these things. And even in the times when it could be tough or it could be intense, that was probably pretty tough. You don't know if you're gonna live or die. I mean, yeah, they're safe, but you still wonder those things. And then that parachute goes off. And then it's the greatest feeling in the world. And you're like, I can chill. And now we're sitting. I'm like, oh, let's take a tour up here. What a view. Oh, is that the harbor over there? And we're chilling and enjoying that. And then the landing, you're just kind of worried a little bit about the landing. And the landing, we put my legs up and boom, we're down. Eyes wide open the whole time. I would never, in hindsight, I would do it all over again. I would never, ever choose to close my eyes through that whole experience. I wouldn't have changed a thing. You could say I could erase that material. The guys couldn't have played that joke on you. They couldn't have put you no. That I have a great story I'm telling for the rest of my life. That hardship is now a source of strength, and it was a testament to sort of who I am and how I handled those powerful experiences in my life that were like a life and death thing. Granted, it was self-manufactured, a little bit nutso, but needless to say, the experience is the experience. Yeah, just kind of random, but I felt the need to share that because the connection was there.
Absolutely. No, there's always a reason. And that's what I always follow. If you're given, if it's like a reminder or something, they're like, tell this, there's a reason. Somebody needed that, something was happening there. So very cool. Another thing came in when you said I wanted to be conscious of the experience, or like closing your eyes, you're not conscious. I think another word we could use there is aware. You wanted to be aware of what, so there's a little more to being conscious than just being physically awake. There's awareness and being aware of what's going on. And so I think that's that other element there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Going through life with eyes wide open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Eyes wide open through everything. That's the experience.
Very,
and,
very cool.
and right now, with eyes wide open, we're seeing a lot of things, you know? We're taking in quite a bit. Things seem like they're absolutely nuts in some ways. Like if you had this conversation with someone a year ago, imagine having a talk with your past self. What would you say to your past self about where you are right now 1 year ago? Interesting. Well, listen, past self, here's what's going to happen. Things are going to get a little crazy. You're going to jump out the window and jump out the door, and you're going to be diving because things are going to be moving pretty quickly. There's going to be change. There's going to be a lot of wild things happening, and then feeling like it's never, ever, ever happened before. May seem kind of alien, like we're in a different world. Is it really real with this wild virus? But it's going to be fine. And you're going to learn a lot from this. And you're going to come out in a much better place. And you're going to have a lot of time for self-reflection. And you're going to have a lot of time to come into yourself and be clear in your ideas of how you want to express yourself moving forward in this new world that's being created for you. And what so many people are going to see as a curse or as something that's horrible, you're going to see it as one of the most beautiful events that you've witnessed in your life, because it's going to be a transformation for the entire earth and for yourself. And much like you used the analogy before, Julie, of the caterpillar turning into a butterfly, that's where you're going to be. You're going to be blooming, showing yourself, and you're going to be flying in this new, beautiful way through this earth as someone that's on your mission and as someone that's connected. It's interesting to have these conversations with your past self, because your past self will listen. Your past self will listen to you. If you open that communication, the past self will be getting messaging from their future self. So you can take time to tip your past self off over what their future is going to be. You're going to put your past self in a better place. And by doing so, you're going to open the door for the cycle of life and a future self coming and giving you information about the future in the forms of inclinations and hunches. And now we go full circle into how this works and how you can start being a generator of this cycle and playing it backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and making the cycle work to your best advantage. The universe is on your side. You now have all the tools. It's time for you to use them. Use them to put yourself in your ideal place, in your ideal circumstances, with your ideal mindset. Good times.
Absolutely. I'd like to kind of pull it full circle again. And the theme, we're talking about being invincible. And that is so important to understand, because there are so many things bombarding us if we choose to look at them, trying to convince us of how vulnerable we are and how fragile we are. And that is so far from the truth. There's nothing close to that. We are invincible. We are great and powerful beings. We only go to that place if we feel we need to. If we start believing some things we're being told, or we are feeling fragile, or we are feeling vulnerable, we are feeling victimed, we are feeling, see, if we are taking that in, then we will have things to represent that. But that is not who we are. We are great and powerful beings. See your greatness, be your greatness. This is what we're talking about. This other part of us is just this body that feels this way. But even this body isn't like that. When the body is connected to its true self, it understands who it is and what it is. These bodies are magnificent. These bodies can handle anything. They were designed to do that. Only thing that can affect how it does anything is the thoughts it thinks and the feelings it has. So if we think we're weak, if we think We're vulnerable. If we think we're weak and all this stuff, then that's what it will become. It's just that, but if we think we're strong and powerful and here for a greater purpose and here and invincible, then that is what it is, because that is what it is. It can take anything. We got this, everybody. Don't let anyone convince otherwise. And it's up to you. Okay, they're reminding me. See, okay. I'm trying to convince you of this because that's how I see it. But you know, that's your free will. You can see it however you choose to see it. That's up to you. I would like you to know, this is my truth, is that we are great and powerful beings. And our bodies were designed to be here forever. Forever is a long time. See, there's my own little thinking came in there. Whoa, that's a long time. They were designed to last for hundreds and hundreds of years. They really were, at least that. So we'll see how long, because you hear about beings, you hear about ancient, that's what we see in our sessions. These beings, some of them live thousands of years. Yeah. That is our heritage. That's where we came from, So this is just a belief system that's controlling what we do now. So if we believe that we are strong and powerful, then we will be strong and powerful. We will be invincible. Our true nature absolutely is invincible, and the bodies can so reflect that. Just, somebody's sending out a lot of love. Thank you so much.
And where we are going with the earth is evolving to a place where we are merging with other highly evolved civilizations that are welcoming this transformation of the earth, that have had a quarantine period for eons and eons that is now being lifted, and it is no longer in place. And we do have the connection to advance and connect to different versions of ourselves that are actually in these star systems and all these energetic galaxies. And it is so fascinating because I've channeled them, I've been a part of sessions into them, I've taken a really big fascinations with this earth advancing and the other parallel civilizations that are helping us. And to name a few out there, for those that are curious, some of them are some of you are knowledgeable of them already, some of you this might be totally new, but there's quite a few that are closer in proximity to Earth that come through quite often. There's Sirius, Arcturus, Orion, Lyran, Palladian, Andromeda, and there's a lot more where that came from, but that's a core group of civilizations that came through past life regressions and QHHT sessions, and they come through me channeling, and they give so much energy as they do come through and produce energy in these blocks of information that come all at once. So they give us this information in blocks instead of linear words and concepts. It's everything all at once, and it's up to us to take these big chunks of information and then to use the words that we have to try and make nuances of this information.
Translate it, interpret it.
Translate it. And even then we are a bit limited by the constructs of actual language, but it's the energy that we put forward as we speak it that allows the full power of it to come through. So in channeling, it's a lot, you hear the message, you may hear the words, but it's also the energy, the tonality, in what you feel the vibration behind it. And we all have this capability within us. However, it comes out even more for some reason. It comes out more when there's groups. Yeah. So if you feel an intuition where you have some wisdom that's coming to you, if you talk to one person, it's great. That's even better than you just talking to yourself. If you talk to two people, even better. As you talk to a little bit bigger and bigger groups, like if you're at I don't know, we're not doing this like quite yet at a dinner or something at a table with people, but as you're doing this, it's somehow bringing more of that energy out and crystallizing, and you're playing with it more if you're talking in groups of larger and larger people. So a lot of people ask, like, what is a trick to channeling? And that is one piece of it, is don't just keep it to yourself, is allow it to flow and bring progressively more people into the mix that you're speaking with. And you'll find that the energy will be coming out, and the channel will be working with that like a DJ almost, and balancing out the equilibriums and the bass and everything just to get it right, playing with that information and then using tonality and energy to be able to send it out. It's so fascinating. It's so fascinating that we all were given this as human beings, this ability to get this information coming to us and to share with each other and to share higher points of wisdom. And it's a fascination, and it's something I'm committed to sharing infinitely now. Like, this is just part of the game. We're in this together. We're here to lift each other's spirits. And I'm really all in on this, and super grateful that we're able to have these connections. For those of you that are new and highly abundant and you don't know what QHHT is about, or quantum healing hypnosis technique, we have an online class, and Julia has a coupon code for you. Coupon code is lots of love. It's lots of love, and you can go to the website QHHT Official and take the class, and then you'll learn the technique at how to guide people into higher levels of consciousness. And it is really something deep and profound. It changed my life completely, and so many others. And when you talk to other practitioners too, you join kind of like this fun group that we have, and so open and welcoming, and it's a great place to be. And it's something that Julia's mother invented like 40 some years ago. It's been really special.
Absolutely. And I think what we'll discover, what you're probably in this group will discover, is that we've all been together before. That's what we're finding in these classes that we go to, and in these different places, that we have all been together there before in these ancient civilizations or whatever. And then we're coming back now to discover, or to rediscover and undisclose the information that was here. And it's like, maybe, that's why we're here, is because whatever happened before, we don't necessarily want it to happen again. And so we're working through all of these things, and we're like, okay, let's remember future selves talking to past selves, talking to future selves. That's what's happening here. Our past selves have come back and into this life, and we're working on things. So now what they're saying is, it's exactly what you said, Kaya. Through this, we can talk to our past selves, and we're working things out, as it gets closer and closer. So we're understanding what happened there. Also, our future selves are talking to us to help us better understand what we can do now to help, to see how it all works. It's not linear. It's not this happened, so now this is happening, now this is happening. No, these are all happening, and we're all working with them simultaneously.
Yes. And I had some requests, and highly abundant people wanted me to post my first QHHT session that was ever done with me, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add some little effect to it, and so I'll be posting that. I know that I brought it up once, and I didn't follow through, and I realized there's something that's still like personal or something weird that's holding, that was like, oh, should you do that, or should you? I'm just going to step into it, create something cool, post it, and express it because it's meant to be. See how the ego is still like doing weird stuff. So that'll be something that I'll be doing. You guys can check that out too. It was really fun.
It's a very powerful session. Very, very good. Well, and when you look at it, that was really what opened everything up for you.
It was. Yeah. And then it was just massive explosions of energy. Like, I feel like my brain is a nuclear reactor of constant information and thoughts and ideas now. It's crazy. Crazy. Just, I'm seeing the changes in myself and connecting and actually doing the stuff that I say are things that are good to do. I'm actually doing them myself. And I only say do this if I'm doing it on myself as my own guinea pig in doing these things, and they are tested and working.
Absolutely.
So I think we will end it here. It was a beautiful, incredible transformative session again. It was so fun.
Yes, love being here with all of you. Thank you so much for being here. This is so wonderful.
So if you want more information, like the Highly Abundant page, and then sometimes it asks you like if you want to receive notifications, hit the notifications, and then you'll be first to know when we're doing these sessions. We're doing them consistently every week at the same time, and we've been rotating on our different pages, and we may be doing additional sessions. So if you hit the notification and like the page, then you would get those notifications and know. And yeah, we're really excited to keep connecting with you guys and keep putting forward new thoughts and new alignments and energies and ways that we can come together and assist in this amazing 5D transformation that we're in.
Yes. So gorgeous. Thank you all. Love you, and thank you, Kaya.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Love you all.